Welcome, welcome, welcome to all you amazing teachers out there. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 7 of Next Level Teaching. Let's get it. Okay, today's gonna be good. Question number 1, what you got?
Hi, my name is Zavina Mulgrave. I am the school social worker here at Henry County High School. We just listened to Mr. Anderson. So my question for him is, students like to work collaboratively together. So where's the line between cheating and working together?
Okay, hey, so fellow social worker, what's up, what's up? You know, that's what I went and got my bachelor's in. Look, thank you for what you do, great question. You know, I'm a big supporter of students working together. You know, now you want to make sure that there is a balance, but I think that there are way more positives and pros than there are negatives or cons to students working together. I mean, when you get out here in the real world, you're going to be working in corporate America. You have to work with teams. You'll have a team lead. You gotta learn how to communicate and time management and sharing the responsibilities. So I feel like there are a lot of positive things from students working together. So let me just keep it simple. As long as they have the information, then we good. As long as they're able to retain the information, as long as they're able to really understand the knowledge, then I think like we're good to go. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put so much ownership in how they got it, because here's the reality. Some students learn differently. Some students are auditory learners, you know what I'm saying? Some are visual learners. Some need to touch it and feel it. Some are real creative. Some can learn through music. Like my daughter, you can put anything in a song, she got it. You know what I'm saying? So some of your students, you might see them excel. Matter of fact, you might see them really gravitate towards it, and their grades do better when they're able to work and collab, because when they're sitting by themselves, they're bored. But when they learn how to work together, when they learn how to get along to accomplish some things, shoot, when they learn that, we can teach our government something. You know what I'm saying? When they can learn to go across the aisle and say, forget if you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, let's just work together to make sure that our country be as great as we can be. I think that's where the power is right there. So I would say let your students continue to collaborate together. I know for me, if I'd have did that, I probably would have went farther, faster, but so often when I was in school, I had to sit at my desk and I was just bored out of my mind. But if I had a teacher that could assign me a role, and Norton a role, and Corey a role, and Danita a role, and we all had to play our part, I'd have been way more engaged, and I would have really, I believe, grasped the concept that much better. So you're already amazing. Social workers, the first thing they teach us is to meet people where they are. So some of your students, that might be the very thing that they need to take it to the next level. You're amazing. Appreciate your question. Question number 2, what you got?
Hey Jeremy, my name is Nicole Paguada. I teach 3rd grade in Columbia, Missouri, and I was wondering how you help students deal with grief or loss.
Wow, Nicole, great question. You know, and I'm glad you submitted this question, because, so again, the question is, how do you help students deal with grief or loss? I think the first biggest thing you can do is acknowledge it. You know, you acknowledge it, you let them know you're sorry that they had to go through that and deal with that loss, and then you let them voice it. You know, let them express how they feel. Let them talk about it. I think that's the first part of healing, you know what I'm saying, is that we all know that there are several steps to grieving, you know what I'm saying, but to let them talk about it and express how they feel, I think that's going to be real healthy for you all's relationship. Sometimes they got to talk about it and verbalize it. You know what I'm saying? Ask them questions. You know what I'm saying? Ask other students to ask questions. Maybe other students in the class can talk about, this is who I lost, my grandmother, my dad. This is how I felt, this is what I dealt with, so that that student doesn't feel alone. So it depends on how old they are, the grades, and that thing can sometimes be tricky. But I think let's let them talk about it. Let's let them communicate with it, because it goes far beyond just the grieving, the loss of a loved one. You know what I'm saying? Now we're talking about their emotions. That's where the power is, and that's what I want to take the next few minutes to deal with. We've got to talk about how do we really connect with our students who are struggling? How do we really connect with our students who have thoughts, who have feelings, who have emotions, oftentimes bottled up? Like, how do we let them know it's okay to share it? How do we let them know it's okay to grieve? How do we let them know it's okay to hurt? You know what I'm saying? How do we as teachers create a type of environment where students feel safe to come and say, hey, I'm hurting. Hey, Miss Nicole, I'm struggling. Hey, this happened to me. You know, my father left, like, this is what I'm dealing with. Because here's the reality, Nicole. You, as humans, like we deal with, as adults, we deal with our own stuff. And we come to school and we try to be as strong as we can for these kids. But here's the reality. These kids come to school dealing with some heavy stuff as well. I was just recently in Arizona and I was doing a Q&A with this high school, and this one kid broke down crying. He's like, I got this job, I'm picking up a second job, my father left, I got me and my mom, I've got like 4 other siblings. He was like one of 6 or something like that, something crazy. Big family, and he's like, and I'm dealing with depression. He's like, yo, I'm tired, I'm not happy with life. You know what I'm saying? He's like, but I don't want to go to my mom because my mom is already dealing with a whole lot. I'm thinking like, you know what I'm saying? So the teacher's probably thinking like, all right, let's get this trigonometry. But on the inside, he's dying. On the inside, he's struggling. So I think that an additional question, Nicole, is to say, hey, when I have kids who are struggling with this, like, how do I connect with them? How do I let them know you're not alone? And so I think what you do every single day, you wrap your arms around them, you tell them how much you love them, how much you appreciate them, you let them know you're always there to talk, you're always there to listen, and you want to figure this thing out. Let them know how proud of them you are. Let them know how brave they are to weather the storm that they're weathering. You keep speaking life and you keep affirming them. And I think the biggest thing that educators can do beyond teaching is to let students know I care and to let students know I'm here for you. Because when a student feels like you care, when a student feels like I'm here for you, you're there for them, now they're willing to come and they're willing to communicate, and that's when you can really capture their heart. And as I showed y'all before, once you capture their heart, you'll capture their mind. And when you capture that, they'll learn anything you're putting in front of them. But first, we gotta capture their heart. So yeah, you have students dealing with some rough stuff, continue to speak life, pour into them, give them that safe environment, and everything else will fall into place. Great question. Let's move on now to question 3. And in a sense, I'm gonna tie question 3 to question 2. Let's get it.
Hi Jeremy, this is Joe Scott from Columbia, Missouri, and I get overwhelmed sometimes. How do you keep your sanity?
Okay, so overwhelmed sometimes, I get it. How do I keep my sanity? I get it. Look, overwhelming, you know what I'm saying, feelings, anxiety, depression, I get it. I will share with you how I keep my sanity, and then I will tell you what that means to you. But let me just let you know, and every other educator, shout out to all my educators in Columbia, Missouri. Let me just let you and everyone else that's watching this video know, like, it's real. Like that overwhelming feeling, you know what I'm saying, where you feel like I can't take it no more, I'm tired, you know what I'm saying, that eventually leads to anxiety and depression. It's real. Why? Because you show up every single day, you give the absolute best you can for these kids. You're dealing with kids who come from broken homes, broken backgrounds, you know what I'm saying, all over the place, for their energy, their learning styles, you know what I'm saying, their personality types, it's a lot. Then they come with a lot of their brokenness from their home, and they bring to the classroom, and you gotta deal with all of that. On top of that, on the weekends, you taking money out your pocket, you're planning, you're buying stuff for the classroom, it's a lot. And on top of that, you got your spouses, you got children who be losing their mind, financial issues, health issues, you got your girlfriend calling you, drama, PTA meetings, you know what I'm saying, homeowner association, like traffic, just stuff, like life, and it gets so overwhelming. And I wanna let you know, like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I have a counselor I meet with myself personally. Me and my wife get marriage counseling. You know why? Because we wanna be as strong as possible, and I'm serious about my mental health. You know, we got 2 companies and a nonprofit here in the US, and one in Cape Town, South Africa. Matter of fact, shout out to my folks in South Africa. This is one of my gifts when I was there last year. I'm going back in December, right? But there are some things I have to say no to. There are some things I can say yes to. So when South Africa comes, I'll talk to my wife, I'll look at my calendar, I'll look at my schedule, I'll look at my health. Can I handle this? You know, there are sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no. I just got a call to go to New Zealand. I'm like, man, I've never been to New Zealand. I've been to South Africa speaking probably 5-6 times now. Never been to New Zealand, that was on my list. But I said no. Why? Because of my energy. My health is my wealth. And so I had to say no. So I want to talk about eliminating the clutter. There are some things that might be around you. There are some things that you're doing. You might have to say, okay, let me cut this because I just can't take it right now. I don't have the energy. I don't have the mental space for it. I'm not any good. And if I'm not good, you know, you're not good for your family. You're not good for your students, you know? And then not just the mental clutter, but even the clutter in your classroom, the clutter in your house. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. You want to see my wife Tracy stressed out? Let the house get dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes those things can add to anxiety. You're like, where are my keys at? Where is this? Because there's a lot of clutter. Eliminate the clutter. Eliminate the distractions. You know, it might be social media, it might be TV shows, it might be some phone calls from some friends. But you know what? I just can't take your call right now. I'm missing more calls in this season than I've ever missed before. My iPhone right now got about 340 something text messages over the past few months I just can't catch up with. But you know what? That's okay. Because who needs my attention? Tracy, Jackson, Jewel, they get it. Who need my attention? The schools when I'm speaking, but other people, as much as I want to catch you, I can't do it. So I don't think it's always the classroom and school. I think it's all the other stuff that comes with life that's piled on top. So I want you to eliminate the clutter. I want you to eliminate the distractions and set office hours when you're gonna do specific things at home, when you're gonna do work in the classroom, and then outside of that, you do you. You get your feet rubbed. You know what I'm saying? You have your spouse rub your feet. You take that index finger and work them toes with that baby oil and that Epsom salt. You know what I'm saying? You go to Massage Envy, you get you a massage. You know what I'm saying? You enjoy you know what I'm saying? Like whatever you gotta do to relieve some stress, make sure you do it because you wanna make sure that you're not always work, and you're taking care of everybody else and you let yourself go. All right, I want you to really think about that. I want you to give up, delete, and delegate. Some things you might have to give up, some things you might have to delete, and some things you might have to delegate and say, you know what, I can't take this, I can't handle this, I'm gonna have to pass this on to somebody else on my team, somebody else, another assistant, somebody else to help me carry the weight of all the stuff I'm dealing with. Find some friends outside of education. All your friends can be educators. I wanna make sure you have a life and I wanna make sure you're good. Why is this important? Because you matter. Yes, our kids matter. Yes, our kids matter. But we trust you with our precious children. I got 2 kids, I trust them with their teachers who are gonna be spending 7-8 hours with them throughout the day. I wanna make sure that you are good. That's how special you are. So I want you to take care of you. I wanna make sure that you feel revived, refreshed, restored, so you can come to school every single day and give these kids that you've been trusted with your absolute best. You matter, you're amazing. I love every single one of you educators watching this video. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Do me a favor, take care of you. You taking care of our country, you taking care of this next generation, but take care of you. Because if you're not good, these kids not good. I'll see y'all next week for another episode of Next Level Teaching. Let's get it. Hey, what's up my people? Look, I hope you enjoyed today's video and check this out. I've got so many more in store for you. So subscribe and do me a favor. Please leave me a comment, an emoji, a thumbs up, something. Let me know you're feeling it. Me and my team put so much energy, time, and effort into it, and it's free for you. Just let me know you're feeling what we putting out here. And I'll see y'all real soon. Leave a comment. Peace.